Okay, I wanted to talk to you real fast about mining. Just make sure you're paying attention, listening to what's going on here. Because we're not going to be in school, it's important that you pay attention, watch this video, and understand what's going on. If you have any questions, I need you to get a hold of me as soon as possible. First and foremost, we got to talk about mining and some of the issues that are going to come up with mining. So during the Industrial Revolution, they need ore of some sort. Okay, they need coal is one of those that is particularly used. Iron is another one they're going to need. And you need this ore if you're going to keep up in the Industrial Revolution. Now, the only way to get this ore is to go underground because the ore is located deep, deep underground. Remember, we're talking about the steam engine being the most important invention of this era. The steam engine was invented to keep the water out of these mines so that you can get this ore out. This ore, which is just a fancy way of saying metal, is going to be very, very important during the Industrial Revolution. As I already stated, the ore is underground, meaning there's a problem. If you want to get this ore out, you need to actually physically go underground, or you're not going to be able to get the ore out of the ground. Now, this is going to be incredibly dangerous for a number of different reasons. Number one is it's not uncommon for the mines to cave in. You're digging a hole, you're underground, at some points up to a mile. That dirt can cave in on top of you, collapsing in, you die and suffocate. You can have fire, which is going to spread rampantly through the mines when it happens, which then causes either you to suffocate from the smoke or to burn to death, which is a very painful way to go out. And lastly, the lack of ventilation. There's not a lot of clean air down there, and this can cause a number of issues as well, causing you to suffocate and die. Now, with mining, they're going to start by just digging a small hole in the ground. It's going to be kind of self-explanatory in that way. You're going to be digging this hole in the ground, and slowly you're going to start digging this hole deeper and deeper and deeper. And you're going to support this hole in the ground by a head frame. And all a head frame is basically a hoist that's located on top of the mine shaft that you can use to lower the miners into the ground, but also to lower the ore out of the ground. You're going to need timber to support the roof of the mine to make sure that it does not cave in on top of you. You have to put logs down there to make sure that's happening. You need to pump in oxygen from up above to make sure that your miners have air to breathe. And you need to pump out the water. Okay, that's going to be important. All of these things, with the exception of the timber, are going to be run by the steam engine at first. Okay, so remember how I'm talking about how important the steam engine truly is? This explains exactly how that's going to be happening. Now, if you look at this image right through here, you can see these different things right here. Okay, you're going to see the hoist house, which is where the steam engine that's going to be running that head frame is based. Okay, it's basically just a giant pulley system. It's going to lower stuff in and out of the ground. Now, at the bottom, you see the water table. This is going to be where you need another steam engine to pump that out. Otherwise, your miners will drown and you can't get down underwater where those ore veins are going to be at. This is kind of the breakdown of what a mine looks like. Originally, and especially during the Industrial Revolution, the ore is going to be moved by mules. So you're going to take a mule, you're going to lower it down into the mine shaft through the head frame, which is an incredibly difficult process because mules are stubborn. But then these mules are going to live basically their entire lives in the mine. Okay? You put them down there, and they're going to be in that mine until they die, living in total darkness their entire life. And then after mules are replaced by electric carts, which make it a little bit easier, but during the Industrial Revolution, for the most part, mules are going to be used underground. This explains exactly how you put a mule into the mine. There's a saying, stubborn as a mule. Mules are very stubborn animals. Trying to tie it up and lower it into a mine shaft is not an easy task, but it's an important one that will be happening. Now, some of the issues that are going to come along with mining. Number one is the timber. If you do not treat it, it will rot. Okay, rotten timber will break down and cause cave-ins. So you have to treat it with a substance to make sure this does not happen. The substance they're going to treat it with is going to be flammable. This is going to be particularly problematic because the lighting that the miners will use is called a carbide lamp. These things, if you get too close, will cause the timbers to light on fire and thus cause a massive, massive fire. This is going to happen at a number of different times. Okay, in the United States, Butte, Montana, this happened as well. 158 people were killed in a matter of a day due to the flammable substance being on the timber. Cave-in is another issue that happens where the ground simply caves in, everyone underneath dies. You got dugans, which are large rocks that fall from overhead. If they're not going to be in a stable way, they're going to fall and they can crush you. My grandfather, when he was a miner, this was his job, was to use a large metal stick and knock the dugans down so that they didn't fall on top of someone. Dangerous job, but he said it paid an extra $2 a day, which was a lot of money back then. Dry drilling is another issue you can see with this drill right here. You can see off to the far right side of the screen the valve, which is going to be used to pump the water in. If you do not use the water, you're creating a lot of dust, which you're breathing in, and then is going to cause you to suffocate or to slowly get lung problems, leading to lung cancer and early death. Tapper light is a saying, okay? You're going to use dynamite. You're going to have to put that dynamite into that hole you just drilled with a large metal rod. Okay, if you tap it too hard, it explodes and you die. So it's got to be tapping it light. If you don't tap it light, you're going to die. Largely, this is going to be done by immigrants, and this is going to happen primarily because immigrants had less education and they were easier. You could pay them less, so you're going to be getting in the mine. Also, there was a bit of a language barrier, so they were wanting to work with other people who spoke their same language underground. Okay, so mining was primarily done by immigrants moving from other places. Often they are going to be taken advantage of because they have less education and they don't speak the language. It's going to lead to the formation of labor unions, which we will talk about later on. Now, inside the Orphan Girl, this is a mine from back at home. It's currently a museum. I had a friend of mine who's working there, so he took some pictures for me to show to you. First and foremost, this is going to be the mine shaft. Okay? You can see the ladder, which you would use to climb up and down if you're not using the elevator. Again, notice the wood in here. This is the wood that would have been treated with this flammable substance, which could have caused problems if you get too close to it with a flame. Right through here is just a mine shaft, as you can see right here. This is an old one. Obviously, there's stuff in here that they would not have had, like the chain link fence. But this is just kind of giving you a breakdown of what a mine shaft would look like. Here's another one of these ladders going from one level up to the next. Again, at some points you're going to have to be climbing to get from level to level. In your reading, you're going to be hearing the man talk about this, and this is going to be what this is looking like. Right here is a mine shaft going down. The pumps to pump out the water are no longer in operation. This mine is no longer in use. And you can see what happens. This is only at about 100 feet underground right through here. And some of these mines are going up to a mile, which is 5,000 feet. So you see the importance of having these pumps underground. Right through here you can see the ceiling. Now they're going to use this chain link fencing stuff and these little kind of metal things to drill into the wall to keep it from caving in. A mine that is actually being used for mining is not going to have this many. This one has it simply like this because it is a museum to make sure it's extra safe. Traditional mine, though, that you're actually working in would not have that. This right here is going to be a jack holding up some of the ceiling. Again, you can see the mine shaft and how it is going back just like that. Here's going to be the elevator. You can see right through here to get up to the top. The head frame would be located directly above that one. You can see the bell system right over there, which is how you're going to communicate. There's not radios to communicate with the person who's operating the elevator because it's someone else in the hoist house who's operating your lift. It's not you on the elevator, so you got to tell them when you're ready to go, when to stop if anything happens. I mean, you're going to be doing that with a system of bells and buzzers where you're just going to ring that bell, they'll know, and they're going to get you pulled back up. Okay, so there's no smoking within 25 feet of shaft. You really shouldn't be smoking in the mine at all. However, people would be doing that. Right through here you can see this is going to be the cable system inside the hoist house. These cables are going to be run by a steam engine, later electricity, and this is going to be this thing that's going to lower the miners up and out of the mine, as well as the ore up and out of the mine. So that is all for this lesson right through here. If you have questions, please email me as quick as humanly possible. Otherwise, good luck. I'll see you later.